The following program is paid for by the Charlie Butler team. Looking for tips on selling your home? Tune into the Charlie Butler Show right here on WGBF AM every Sunday at 9 a.m. The Charlie Butler Show, where your questions get answers. Charlie guarantees it.
Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. This is the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show. Today, Jordan and I are the roses among the thorns.
Wow. That escalated quick.
Well, I told you it was going to be a little different today.
I know.
This is what we get when Charlie says, we're going to go random.
I mean, are Mindy and I the thorns? I don't know.
I can be kind of sometimes.
Well, yeah, there are times your thorns are.
Not me. No, I'm a delicate little flower at all times.
Won't you straighten your halo there? It's just a hair crooked, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My tiara is perfect. I don't know about y'all.
Okay.
A delicate little flower.
So the AKA Thorns is my co-host, who is the president of Butler DeArmond Real Estate Group, that is the owner of the Charlie Butler team, is Candace DeArmond.
Well, good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Candace. How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay. You sweet rose, you. And Jordan.
You're sitting in David Crow's chair today.
I sure am. Yep.
So
I'm just a beacon of knowledge.
I was going to say, I
had to pick on him again. So
David is still with his fence. So I don't know what David is doing with his fence, but
it's a big fence.
It's a big fence. Yeah, David. And I saw on Facebook David's son just graduated from high school.
I did see that. Yeah.
And I think he got a football scholarship.
I think he is a really good football player.
Yeah. I forget.
I think he's an all around good athlete.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. But of course, David is one of our fine sponsors, and as is Churchill Mortgage, David's company. Be sure to call David for your mortgage needs. He'll get you pre-approved, and if he can't, he'll tell you what steps you need to take to get pre-approved. And David's numbers 270-222-0676. David Crow at Churchill Mortgage. He can help you in Kentucky or Indiana. Also with us today is Mindy Woodward. We normally say foreclosure expert, but she's becoming an all-around
jack of all trades.
Relocation, Kentucky residential.
Doing open houses for builders.
Doing open houses for builders, yes.
Exercise science.
Specialization in tripods and photography, all kinds of things.
Yeah. So I saw a thing on line yesterday. Do you guys know, do they still make shaker weights?
They actually do still make them.
I have no idea. I don't know if they.
I think they actually do. Yeah.
Did you guys have them?
My grandma had one because I told you guys. I remembered my dad telling me to put it down.
Well, I thought you were in the store doing that.
Well, I knew I was somewhere with it, but my grandma had one of those and one of those wand back things.
Oh, like that weird back massager wand sort of thing.
Yeah.
Back massage.
It was. I know it was.
Well, you've told some stories about your grandma.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. I don't know if there's many that are safe for on air.
No, I'm not saying we're going to go on air with those. Okay. No,
okay.
I'm just, your grandma was, let's just say, a character. Is
that
fair to say?
Both of my grandmas were pretty.
Yeah.
They were very colorful people.
Candace has got some great stories that we can't tell on the air.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of not air-friendly stories.
Mindy, did you have a shaker weight?
I did not have a shaker weight. I remember them, but I did not personally own one.
Are you doing anything to strengthen your biceps right now?
Not that. I have been working out at the gym about 4 days a week. So
I see that, and I remember a few years ago, Mindy and I go to a one-thing class in Bloomington, Illinois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the instructor was talking about, do one thing. And Mindy's thing then was a gym.
Right. It's always been a thing for me. Like, I go to the gym and then I stop. And then I go and then I stop. And I've never been consistent with it. And this last year, I went and had a mammogram and they found some precancerous cells. And then I found out, I had to go through radiation. I had several surgeries. And then I had to have a hysterectomy. So in all of that, I was like, hey, maybe I really should take a look at my health and how I,
Right.
let me get back to the gym and really make that commitment. So I believe it was in November when my doctor said, yeah, go ahead, that I said, okay, I'm going to make a personal commitment to go 3 days a week. So I started doing that. I started like leveling up on like different machines. And now I'm doing 4 days a week because I'm figuring out like I don't feel real good when I'm not at the gym. I tried to do 5 and that was a little much. So I'm going to like up it to 4. And now I'm trying the stair climber. So I'm doing it like 5 minutes and then 6. And then I'm just going to like up it a minute at a time. But man, I feel so much better.
That's great.
About it.
That's great.
So, but that was just like my own personal journey. I had to come to that. So
that's great. Yeah. Candace, how many days a week you going to the gym?
Oh, God. Never. I hate it. She said Stairmaster, and it took all I could not to say, oh, that devil machine.
It is absolutely evil.
It is terrible.
And I cannot stand it.
It's awful.
But the benefit of it is like, it's ridiculous. And another thing that helps me is I'm starting to see the same people at the gym. Like there's a couple that's probably in their 70s and they're in there just doing their treadmill. And there's, different guys that I see. There is a very cute human there with his little tattooed arm. But, it's just like, it's nice seeing the same people every day when you go in there. It's kind of an extra incentive for me because it's like, well, if this lady's on here killing it, what's my excuse?
Yeah. So you let out a sigh when Mindy started talking about the Stairmaster. Have you had a bad experience with the Stairmaster?
I have tried to go to the gym. I have thought I needed to go because it's what people do. It's healthy, whatever.
But the Stairmaster machine sucks.
It's terrible.
It's torture.
It is awful.
It's a great exercise, but it's torture.
It is torture. It is torture. I did a level 3 for 6 minutes, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is awful."
It's horrible.
It's just terrible.
And then you'll watch people do it for an hour, and you're like,
"Yeah,
what Greek god are you?"
Right? And why are you doing that to your body? That is just cruel. No, I am.
See, Charlie gets his workouts during the episode with the treadmill behind us.
Right. Yeah.
Charlie, when you hear Charlie, he may be out of breath a little bit, but that's because he's walking on his treadmill during the show.
And
that's it. Yeah.
I've got a headset, and LaDon brought that, was nice enough to get that treadmill for me.
Yeah.
What happened to the Charlie Butler team coffee cups? Yeah,
they're right here. They're still here.
There used to be a bunch of them here.
Well, you've had guests that have taken them.
Pilfers.
Actually, that I have one, and it's one of Mason's very favorite coffee mugs at home.
Is it?
The logo is already washed off of it, worn.
Would he like another one?
No.
Yeah, I keep one on my desk, and I've used it so much that the logo's coming off.
Would you like another one, Mindy?
No.
Okay.
I have.
He's trying to give me like 3.
Me too. I every time I go someplace, that's what I do is I get Mason a coffee mug because I don't drink coffee anymore. Because that's my new health nut thing.
I will do a lot, but I will never stop drinking coffee unless they come to me and say, if you don't, you're going to die. Other than that, coffee every day.
I'm sure drinking coffee would be much healthier and working out than not working out and not drinking coffee. But, I'm just a health nut. So.
Speaking of the gym, it can also be a good place for business, too.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And
just like the grocery store.
Exactly. Thank you.
Jordan, you know what? We didn't talk about the engagement ring. Did you have an album over there you wanted to look over with Charlie? Huh, bud?
Very good, Jordan.
Busted.
Yeah, really good, Jordan. We'll talk about the grocery store after we talk about Jordan's upcoming engagement. Did you say rose petals were going to be everywhere? I thought so. Yeah.
I was thinking, look, Trevor Meese, who was supposed to be on today, but Trevor is off somewhere,
He probably got lost.
Yeah. He texted me he's in Chandler. Why, I don't know, but he's in Chandler. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyway. Trevor goes to the gym, I think, every day. Or it seems
it's pretty regular.
He's very consistent.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
he has for a while.
Yeah. But he's got a lot of business from the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got, He's picked up several buyers and sellers from the gym.
And a girlfriend.
And a girlfriend, yeah.
So quick question, kind of to tie this back into realty and everything. Have y'all ever seen really cool home gyms at any of the houses that y'all sold?
Oh, yeah. We were in one
really
yesterday.
Cool. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
And like how big of like the home gym is it? Like, because when I think home gyms, I think of like MTV Cribs and you're seeing the celebrities' home gyms and stuff like that.
Well, not exactly that, but I've seen some that were pretty elaborate. I mean, yesterday the one we were in was pretty elaborate.
We were in a big house on the west side yesterday, and it was. I mean, it's a big room, had a lot of different equipment in it.
I sold a house that had she did some sort of, I don't know what it's called, but this thing hung from the ceiling and she spun and it wasn't pole dancing. It was like
is that a pole?
It wasn't that. It was like a loop.
Wasn't a swing, was it?
Well, kind of. But she
Was it an
said it
adult
was an
swing?
art.
Yeah, art, right. There we go.
Well, never mind.
At the playground where they have like the wheel that spins and like kids hold on to it and fly around. That's what I'm thinking of.
It was like this.
My mind went a different direction.
It was like
I'm innocent
it
here,
hung
Charlie.
and then had like this rounded, like I don't know, like a swing almost, but not. And somehow what she did, I don't know now. I'm saying it out loud, and I don't know what this lady did.
Just watch Candace look straight at your radio. And
I'm completely, now I don't know. Never mind, it wasn't a home gym. I don't know what that place was.
Oh my!
But I loved your body language while you were doing it.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Well, I was hoping one of you guys would tell me what the word was that I was
not on the air.
Yeah, that's not anything we can talk about right now.
Yeah,
I thought it was some sort of dancing art. I don't know. Now I'm second guessing.
It is
everything.
an art form. It is.
Yeah,
It is an art form.
It
We
is.
can't agree with
Yeah.
that.
now there are true.
Yeah.
And also you said it wasn't, but there are people that pole dance.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very healthy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really good workout. I would end up with a concussion and a broken tooth. I'm just not very coordinated. So, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the rumors that you were once a stripper is also.
Those are not the rumors. The
Okay.
Hooters rumor is the rumor. And now you're
Charlie-
taking it to a whole nother level.
Charlie,
and
that's the rumor I've heard about you. No, hold on.
yeah, Charlie. Yeah, no.
I've heard about your 70s experience,
She
all right?
she used to be known as Candy.
I shouldn't sit in this seat because it's close enough for me to knock Charlie out of his. You're safe, Jordan.
You want a mouse to throw at him?
I want something. I'd throw my water, but then I wouldn't have any water.
What are some really cool things that y'all have seen in houses, though, that are very unique to them and you haven't seen them in other houses, especially in this area?
Oh, I went into a house once that had it was like an indoor rock, like you stepped down into the living room, like 2 steps, and it was like an indoor, like koi pond rock garden.
What? And like in the entrance to the house
Inside.
right there?
It was like something it almost looked like something you'd see in a mall or something, only it was in the middle of the living room of this house. It had skylights and
Talk about unique. My goodness.
that was a little different. Yeah.
Now, have you seen those videos of people who have those like massive 1,000,000-gallon tanks in their house?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, those look awesome.
Yeah.
If only
Oh,
I
yeah.
could afford that, because those, even a normal fish tank is an expensive hobby to undertake.
Oh, yeah.
very much
yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
My
Wow.
stepdad had an entire wall of our house whenever I was growing up was a saltwater fish tank. And
Yeah.
it was whenever my friends and I would go back to my house, maybe we were home a little too late. I don't know. We didn't want to talk to parents, whatever happened. But I was like, listen, there's a real cool fish tank to your right. Walk right past it. Don't say a word because he'll start explaining. I can't talk to my mom right now. It was a whole thing. And then they'd be like, oh, it's Nemo. I'm like, I told you you're not supposed to talk.
And because they were slurring their words probably.
A little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
All right, what
So-
about you, Charlie or Mindy? Y'all got any cool
Mindy would be a good one.
I mean, I've seen some weird stuff, but like one of the coolest things, I went into a house last year during the Parade of Homes, and the owner had like a recreation of the IU
I was in that
locker
house, too.
room, and it had the scoreboard that came down from the ceiling.
That's cool.
Yeah. that
And
is
then
cool.
like a whole section of the basement was painted red and black, and he had different quotes on the wall. They had this huge home gym with the refrigerator and different snacks, all kinds of equipment. I mean, I had never seen anything like that. And then the basement walked out into this patio area that had an in-ground pool with fountains that just shot water like randomly. And there was a section that had swings where you could sit in this covered area and just swing over the pool, and it overlooked the river.
Wow.
And the garage was probably 7-car, I want to say, because it L-shaped. And it had a separate entrance for the teenagers to come in between the garage and the main house.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I
and the
needed.
door would open and it went straight upstairs. Huh. Yeah. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You needed that.
I did. I needed that. I don't.
What, 4 or 5 years ago?
Right. Just
Yeah.
a few years ago. I mean, not many. Yeah, I did.
Now, Jordan, mine more has to do with some interesting people. I mean, especially.
Well, how many interesting people have y'all met through this gig? I mean, just hearing y'all's stories.
It is
I mean,
all
it's
the
constant.
time.
It is constant.
The amount of interesting people y'all have interacted with is
Yeah.
Yeah.
insanity.
You have to be able to definitely, because we meet, it's very diverse, the different kinds of things people talk about and are into and say in front of us, and all kinds of people.
Well, like you were just saying last week with a woman who's throwing a temper tantrum in her yard.
And I had to keep a
Mindy's
straight
foreclosure
face.
stories.
I wanted to burst out laughing, and I was like, you can't do that.
20 plus years ago, Mindy and I go on a listening appointment, lady called in Chandler.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking at the
Seems
house.
like a lot of interesting stories come out of Chandler area.
There are some, yeah.
Many of them, much like this one's going to wind up, okay?
Probably true.
And anyway, so we didn't know it, but there's a large backyard in the back, and there's an alley, and across the alley, the ex-husband lived there. And so he comes over, what are you doing here? Oh, I didn't know who he was at the time. And he said, well, she called us about, we're looking at the house, we're looking at the house, and he said, well, it's my house. And then they get in an argument, and so he says, look, he doesn't get out of here. I just bought a brand new car. And he said, I'm going to come out. He said, I'm going to knock all the windows and windshield out of that car, and I'm going to come back and kill them. And so we left. And
Didn't they call the police?
Well, yeah.
I would assume
Yeah,
so.
they called the, I think they called the police.
But Mindy and I went ahead and left. And I think we were gone before the police got there.
Yeah, I think so.
And so, anyway, we're in the office, and here come month, 2 months, however long it was, and in walks these 2 sheriff's deputies that have got summons for us, which people are going to think we've done something wrong. So we've got a summons for and so we get the summons, and then every month or two it gets postponed. They do it again. Finally, I call the prosecutor's office. I said, look, people are thinking me and Mindy are criminals, okay? So can you if you'll just call us, we'll come. No problem.
It was probably a year before they stopped coming.
But he said, no, he said, we have to come over there. So they came over ever so often, and so.
Wow. So how do y'all train people becoming agents to prepare for those kind of situations? Because there's so many random.
You can't.
Is it just a spur of the moment? Like how you react?
Yeah.
Right. And you only learn by going through it. Because there's no way you could ever really train somebody in everything that's going to happen to them.
Because so many random things happen.
Right.
Well, in so many different situations that you run into.
Yes. And the
just
thing
some
is,
stuff you see.
we're like, Mindy and I can talk to each other, or Charlie and I, we can tell each other stories. And the 3 of us who have had lots of different scenarios go down, even still, we'll tell a story and we're still shocked, but then we're also not shocked. We're like,
well, I'm not surprised that actually happened.
What? You had a baby pool full of kitty litter in the house she went into?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
True story.
That's
Jordan.
a true story.
That's a good one, too, yeah.
Well, I'm assuming animals were using it and not.
No.
Oh,
no animals.
Go ahead, Mindy.
So there was a house that Charlie and I were listing back in when American General was here. It was a foreclosure, and it was one of the big 3-story like historical houses that had, every room was a different color, and the front was painted pink, and this is painted blue or whatever. We go to the 3rd floor, which is just a big attic, and there's these gigantic kiddie pools full of cat litter.
Oh God.
Yeah. And big industrial size garbage cans of adult movies of a certain variety. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what is going on in here?
So it wasn't a situation where like the toiletries didn't work or something. It was just what they were into as consenting adults.
Yes, I believe that certain activities may have occurred.
Yes.
In said cat litter.
There's a great TV show that used to be on called My Strange Addictions.
Yes, I remember that.
That could probably be on there.
There was a couple from Owensboro on that actually. And I don't even remember what their strange addiction was, but it was some couple. I think she was into being a baby or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfectly encapsulated in Owensboro,
On that note, we need to pay some bills. We probably don't have sponsors anymore after today. But anyway, we want to be fair to them. As we mentioned earlier, David Crow at Churchill Mortgage. David couldn't be with us today, but he's usually here. And so if for your mortgage needs to get pre-approved, before you call us, call David, because David can let you know exactly what you can buy. And if you're ready to buy now, or if there's things if there's some credit repair that needs to be done, David's also very good at that. And call David. He works both in Indiana and Kentucky. He's the regional manager for Churchill Mortgage. And his number is 270-222-0676. And once we do find you a house, we want to get it searched to make sure that there are no liens. There's nothing to keep you from buying your dream home. So call it. We'll get a hold of good folks at Bossy Title who are always very, very helpful. And so they just have an awesome staff there.
They really do. I was just in there on Friday. Yeah. It's always a good experience.
It really is.
They're great.
They are very, very professional. We kid around about Norm, and Norm is the bonus. I mean, Norm's a French bulldog, but they really do have an awesome staff in there.
Yeah,
and
very knowledgeable.
Yes.
And they can handle anything that might go a little wonky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good thing. And so call Bossy Title for any needs, anything you need searched on your home, 812-421-4000. So where were we at, Jordan? You were asking a question.
Oh, we were talking about cat litter.
We had that fun, interesting story about the kids' pool of cat litter. That was interesting. But yeah, we were just talking about like how can you even train new realtors for those kind of situations? And y'all were saying, you can't really.
Can't.
But I mean, like, some people are going to react so differently to certain situations.
Oh, yeah,
you're like,
definitely.
And I'm sure some people can take a liability on the realtor's end, right? Because if they respond negatively to something, I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of backfall on you, wouldn't there?
Well, I mean, we carry errors on omission insurance if we do something mistakenly wrong.
Yeah.
But as far as something like this, I mean,
where you're walking in and you're seeing people like cat litter, weird stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is to make sure safety things. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And then, to explain to people that you're going to meet all kinds of different people and, try and keep your poker face on. Because
Jordan, do you remember when there used to be a homes magazine, where you pick up magazine had all the homes in there?
I remember magazines, not the home magazine.
Well, there was a home. Smart Alex. It's not funny, okay? Either one of you.
It's hilarious.
Because you both remember it too.
Yeah.
And
I was in it.
You both have been in it. So anyway, used to before the internet got so big, that's how people, they were in the grocery store, they picked them up, everybody advertised them there. So Mindy used to get weird calls. Candace still gets weird calls. Jenny McBride, people have been on the team, but I just explained to these guys. There's some guys, I know it sounds sick, but it's their porn. Mm-hmm. Because
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. They would go in there and Mindy had a guy, how many years did he call you?
Oh, Mr. Dennis?
Yes.
Oh, probably 10. I mean, or maybe that's just what it seemed like. It might have been like 3.
Yeah.
But it seemed like 10. He said he wanted to buy a house. He never could get approved, but he still wanted to talk to me. Then there was the guy on the listing appointment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who was like a referral from somebody else. And I get to the house and he didn't want me to list the house. He wanted me to come with him into the back room. And I was like,
so are there
nope.
situations where y'all run into where you're like, I'm going to feel more comfortable if I like called like a sheriff over or a police officer?
yeah,
an
absolutely.
alarm
Candace,
on a house once.
Candace, you were...
A guy tried to get me in the basement, and I tripped the home alarm on the house. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so as soon as that went off, I was like, we better get outside because police are going to be here very soon. And,
Yeah.
I didn't act like I was scared. I was so scared. So, yeah. Then we went outside. It was broad daylight, and I stood out there and waited for the police. I was like, see you later. So, yeah, that was scary.
An interesting experience.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know. Like, I went to a house not too long ago, and the house was supposed to be vacant. I'm taking pictures, and there was a back patio, and I see, like, this figure, and I was like, what is going on? And so I go to open the door, and this homeless guy comes out, and he goes, wait a minute. I'm real nice. I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, well, a friend of mine said I could come over here and get some good stuff. I said, well, here's the thing. You're not supposed to be over here. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but the owner of this house might call the police. So I'm just going to go in here and take some pictures. You should leave. I mean, he was not even interested in me at all. He just wanted whatever he thought he could get out of the house. But there's stuff like that, too. You might walk into a house that think is empty and there's squatters in there.
That happened to me.
Well, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many videos floating around social media of squatters' rights and people squatting in these homes now, and it's this new big uprising, especially with...
Well, there's actually, Jordan, no, there are actually people, and this is the bank's fault in many cases. The banks don't foreclose for years.
Right.
Yeah.
And, maybe they foreclose, but they just don't want to, they don't want to put it back on their books yet because it's a liability on their books. So, the zombie homes.
Yes.
People will live there, 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And not pay anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like we learned with COVID. It's like if people are not financially invested in their property, they're probably not going to take care of it. Mm-hmm. So all these homes post-COVID have been in really bad shape, the ones that I've seen anyway.
Yeah.
And, what we haven't done and we didn't do. Candace, how can they get a hold of you?
They can reach me on my cell at 812-455-6338, or they can call our team phone
Which is?
812-430-1708.
All right. Way to go, Candace. Mindy, if you're facing foreclosure, if you've got kitty litter, 6 feet deep in your house, how can they reach you?
Or, hey, like... You know somebody who knows somebody that has this house and they don't know what to do with it, call me. 812-483-1309.
And Mindy will figure it out. I'm not sure how she always does it, but she always does.
Yep.
Charlie, call me, Charlie Butler, 812-499-7758. And remember, if we can't sell your house, we'll buy it. And Jordan, do you want to give your number out in case there's any ladies out there that are interested?
Jordan's engaged.
Yeah. 8675309. You can call me anytime, anywhere. Actually, it's a little life hack for you. If you want to get free gas station points, put that number in at a gas station, and you'll get credit for it, like 20 cents off or whatever.
Oh, that's a neat little
little life hack for you right there.
Oh, interesting.
Because somebody's already set up an account, 8675309 under that number. So
you're taking somebody else's points.
Exactly. Yeah, fun little life hack.
So Town Square Media now is supporting stealing people's points. Okay, so
I actually...
The Charlie Butler Show disavows any knowledge of this, okay?
Right, we have nothing to do with this.
No.
Yeah.
8675309. All right. I think we're about out of time, aren't we, Jordan? Okay, so for Mindy Woodward, Candace Jarman, Jordan Rose, this is Charlie Butler. Have a great Sunday.
You've got real estate questions but don't know where to get the answers? Tune in here every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. as Charlie Butler, Evansville's own real estate expert, shares the latest news, info, and insider tips to help you make smart real estate decisions. Find him online at charliebutlerteam.com. This program has been paid for by the Charlie Butler team. From the Kate Foppel Ford Studios, this is Newstalk 1280 WGBF.